It looks like momentum. Israel expands, Iran absorbs, the map gets louder, and from the outside, it feels like something is about to break. But here's the truth. No one wants to say out loud, in this war, breaking isn't instant, it's slow, and the side that breaks first isn't always the one taking the most damage. Right now, Israel is pushing forward, not slowing down, not stepping back, expanding operations, widening targets, extending pressure beyond the original battlefield. Buffer zones, cross-border strikes, longer timelines. This isn't containment anymore. It's escalation by design, because for Israel, stopping early isn't victory, it's risk. Leaving the threat alive means facing it again, stronger, closer, more prepared. So the logic is simple, push further now, so you don't have to fight again later. That's the strategy, relentless pressure, until the threat is no longer viable. But pressure comes with a cost, not immediately, but over time. Because expansion stretches resources, it stretches attention, it stretches limits, and limits are where systems start to crack. Now look at Iran, completely different picture. No expansion, no visible dominance, just resistance, absorption, holding the line. Iran isn't trying to outmatch Israel strike for strike. It's doing something more dangerous. It's enduring. Because endurance changes the equation. Instead of asking, can we win this fight? The question becomes, how long can they keep fighting? And that question is harder to answer because Israel's strategy depends on continuation, momentum, pressure that doesn't stop. But Iran's strategy depends on the opposite. Time, delay, stretch the conflict long enough, and the cost starts to shift, and that's already happening. This war isn't contained, it's spreading through systems, energy disruption, global economic pressure, uncertainty across markets. That's the hidden battlefield. Because while Israel expands physically, Iran expands the cost, different moves, same objective, shift the balance. Now here's where it gets uncomfortable, because breaking doesn't always look like defeat. It looks like strain, subtle at first, then visible, then unavoidable for Israel. The risk isn't losing fast, it's overextending slowly, more operations, more fronts, more resources required to sustain momentum. And when a strategy depends on constant pressure, any slowdown becomes a weakness because pressure only works if it never stops. For Iran, the risk is different. It's internal, economic strain, infrastructure damage, civilian pressure, because endurance isn't free. It costs stability, it costs growth, it costs time, and time cuts both ways. The longer you endure, the more you risk weakening from within. So now both sides are in a race, not to win instantly, but to avoid breaking first. Israel is testing how far it can push, Iran is testing how much it can absorb, and both are approaching limits, not obvious limits, system limits, financial and political, psychological. That's where wars are decided now, not in one decisive moment, but in accumulated strain. Now add one more layer, the United States. Because while Israel expands, the US is stepping back, reducing direct escalation, pushing toward containment. That changes the equation, because Israel is now carrying more of the visible pressure, while Iran continues absorbing, and the system is becoming more unstable, because when one side escalates and another restrains, alignment weakens, and weak alignment creates gaps, strategic gaps, expectation gaps, execution gaps, and gaps are where unpredictability enters. That's what makes this moment dangerous. Not just the expansion, not just the resistance, but the misalignment around it. Because now, there's no single direction, only overlapping strategies. Israel pushing forward, Iran holding steady, the US recalculating, and the outcome? No longer linear, now it's dynamic, shifting, unstable. So who breaks first? The side that runs out of something critical, not missiles, not weapons, something deeper, momentum. resources, political support, internal stability, because those are harder to replace, harder to rebuild, harder to sustain over time. Israel risks losing momentum if expansion becomes unsustainable. Iran risks losing stability if endurance becomes too costly, and both risks are increasing quietly. Every day the war continues. That's why this isn't about who is stronger. It's about who can sustain their strategy longer. Because strength wins battles, but sustainability wins wars. And right now, both sides are being tested in different ways, on different timelines, with different pressures, which means the answer isn't clear, not yet. Because neither side has broken, but both are bending, and bending is the stage before breaking, so the real question isn't just who breaks first, it's who adapts before they do. Because adaptation changes the outcome, it extends timelines, it reduces pressure, it shifts advantage, and the side that adapts faster controls what happens next, not the one that pushes hardest, not the one that resists longest, but the one that adjusts smartest. Because this war isn't ending soon, it's evolving from speed to endurance, from force to pressure, from clarity to complexity. And in that kind of war, breaking isn't obvious, it's gradual, until one day, it's undeniable. If this changed your perspective, subscribe, because the next video might change your life.